Good morning, ladies and gentlemen, though I do believe it is afternoon for some of you. Sorry, things kind of...
Morning where it matters.
Morning where it oh, ouch.
I'm sorry, I gotta get my shots out of the way early, but to be fair, EU has been the more exciting region in my opinion so far, so I can't exactly say that with all fairness.
Although it is also morning where it matters from the standpoint of we are exactly where we need to be. Like I said, the game just kind of got flying a little bit faster than expected. So, we didn't quite have some things ready to roll. That's my bad, or you can blame my cats, take your pick. Bands should be appearing on your screen right about now.
Bands are coming out right now as the team's locking them in and getting ready to fly off. We have a Hell and a Giannis off the table, and Serket taken out alongside a Xingqian already. So, definitely need to get rid of these heals in this game, and Serket, powerhouse jungler, makes sense to keep her off the table.
Indeed it does. So again, you know, since we are just jumping straight into the first match of this round robin group stage, go ahead and let you all know what's going on. This is VWS Gaming up against Epiphany Bolt, and this is again round robin staging. All these matches will be best of 1. And the teams will be playing out of groups of 4. I do believe that the brackets command should give you a link to aforementioned brackets. So there'll be
basically a best of 2 with how it works, though.
Pretty much, and it's 2 weeks of round robin, and we'll be casting 6 of the matches today. So we'll be kind of trucking right along through all of those as we can. Currently waiting on Epiphany Bolt to pick their characters as well, so or their gods, excuse me. We will be seeing a Agni and Bellona getting locked in here. So for Epiphany Bolt, so again, nothing too crazy. So never mind. One moment. Let me show what's getting a little bit crazy.
We've got the double heals coming in here. VWS getting Zhong and Aphrodite solo and mid laner locked in already, as well as support Khepri. VWS have a terrifying team comp for these team fights.
Epiphany Bolt, I would recommend a Nemesis or an Odin or a Serket, except one of those is already banned out. So I would still recommend a Nemesis and or Odin, just because of the anti-heal of Odin for the Athena, and then the Nemesis for her ult having the protections of whomever she attacks. Zhong being the perfect example. However, other options to note, because again, Khepri's ultimate does not work against executions. Thanatos, okay, maybe not the best because he falls off late game. Ao Kuang, though, great option here. But again, Ao Kuang's fallen out of popularity lately, more so because better options have arisen, and it's hard to run a squishy assassin mage like himself in a bruisery solo lane meta that we're in right now.
And even, I think that Thanatos actually would be a solid pickup here, as I believe it was actually Darkyodk who played a Thanatos to great effect, and most of the Thanatos we've seen come out in the EU Challengers Cup have actually been incredibly effective when they've been played, and have been very, very capable of snowballing these leads. But second ban phase coming around, Huyi off the table from Epiphany Bolt there as a quick response ban, Mir taken off by VWS.
Yeah, Epiphany Bolt, I would expect to see their Hunter pick here. Again, because they are on Chaos side, they get the last pick before the second phase of banning, plus the first pick after that phase as well, which means that if they ban out a Hunter there, they say, okay, VWS, if there's any Hunters that you don't want to deal with, you better ban them now, because we're going to pick ours here, and they are going to be picking a Hunter that I would assume their Hunter, RedPot, does not feel comfortable playing against the aforementioned Huyi, and Freya will be the lock-in there. So again, Freya, I would guess that they feel that RedPot has a good matchup with Freya against all of the other Hunter God pool, but does not have a good matchup against the Huyi of VWS. So, that said, Rama going to get locked in by them, VWS Gaming, and then FleuryQ will be locking in the Awilix as well. So, I'm guessing that they're going to be looking to keep Awilix and Ram alive at all times. Good combination. Good, definitely lots of damage dealing, and again, both of them do have some trouble staying alive. Zhong tanky enough that I would assume that he doesn't need to be kept alive, but also somebody that you can try to keep alive during these team fights and will do quite well. And quite frankly, the Khepri ultimate, if you put it on him when Zhong is ulting, I wouldn't complain if he didn't die, because that movement speed on that fat Ghostbuster trucking around with a bunch of demons flying out of his backpack is terrifying.
It's an absolutely terrifying team coming from VWS in general. They've got a very, very synergistic comp. As Epiphany Bolt, they've got a composition that isn't too bad at all. I mean, this is the kind of comp you're like, alright, we picked decently here, but in all honesty, I think VWS may have outpicked them here, just as the sheer strength of composition they have, as it is a difficult one to overpower. They've got the healing, double healing if you count Zhong as a healing mage, since he does keep himself going quite nicely. He's got a lot of pressure to shred through, and I don't think Epiphany Bolt, if this game goes long enough, will have the damage to deal with VWS, as they have so many ways to push on through it, and they've still got plenty of damage to back themselves up.
I'm inclined to agree. I think if the Thor maybe was a nemesis, Epiphany Bolt would be able to handle with the late game of VWS, but at the same time, I'm not a huge fan of the Awilix pick either, so I'm inclined to give it a draw. I think that especially because of where we are in the bracket stage, you know, we are to the round robins. All these teams are top 8. This is Europe, where it was insanely close, and we've seen both of these teams just brawl it out, and both of these teams have won games they should not have won.
This is more or less the region where everybody can beat everybody, and that does live up to its name here. It's going to take an absolutely lights-out game from Epiphany Bolt in this early game to pull themselves through it, but honestly, any of the top 8 teams can do it. We've seen them shut each other out in these early games before. This is most likely what Epiphany Bolt is going to try to do here.
Yeah, I am inclined to give it to VWS. Again, if you keep Zhong and Rama alive, Awilix blows up one person late game. I'm inclined to give it to VWS, but again, I'm just saying that this still really is anybody's game. At this point, I don't feel comfortable saying, you know, which team I think would win it overall. That said, we do need to wait about 2 minutes for Spectator Client to finish counting down, and I will admit to finish waking up for myself. As you all know, Daylight Savings Time just ended in America, plus Halloween was last night, so it was a long night. But anyways, we will be back when the client does finish counting down. This is week number 1 of the round robin stage, week number 6 of the Challenger Cup fall split. My name is M Target Casting today with Soza. We'll be back in just a minute. And we are I see pings.
Should be fine. Darkyodk hasn't been spotted just yet, so Ducky not going to find this kill, but Darkyodk on the
I thought Ducky was going to die.
Gaping. I thought Ducky might have gotten caught there as well. I was a bit more worried about Darkyodk there, as they had an opportunity for a small collapse from VWS, but it would likely turn into a bloodbath for both sides, as Epiphany Bolt wasn't too far around the corner either.
Yeah, again, I saw Darkyodk on Thor, early game god, he'll do fine, and PurplePot on Athena, again, taunt, done. What's Ducky have? He's got either a back off, or a birds, or a stun. He's got to pick one of those, and two of those aren't amazing for team fighting, and one of them also aren't you know, awesome for... I forgot to turn on team sound, or game sound. I am sorry, I am not awake yet, everybody. There we go, and game sound is on. Oh, dear.
I just blame daylight savings and the fact that you are slightly hungover, most likely from Halloween Target.
Nope, no alcohol, no candy even.
Oh, well, good.
That's the problem, I didn't get any candy for Halloween.
Sound, mind, and body as well. Looks like Epiphany Bolt want to start a fight here.
Open
they
vision.
could find the fight they want. Ducky and FleuryQ going to be forced back by the combo of Darkyodk and Axioz. Axioz going to look for the zone pressure here as Darkyodk will start the speed buff. Ducky, though, he wants to find the fight as FleuryQ watches on in horror here. They could find their way as Axioz does land a slow with that shield. Zindo wins the barrage coming on through. Darkyodk looking for that final shot of damage here as FleuryQ. He's so low as well. Ducky has nothing left but a quick leap in. They actually might just want to Axioz's head right there as Wlfy taking quite a bit of pressure back. Axioz taking almost nothing here. We're getting a tiny bit of spectator lag, it seems, but it's all done and well now. Wlfy will show just in time to save his teammate's life there, and the rest of VWS is going to get out of dodge, but the speed buff doesn't quite know how to run.
No, I think it's actually player damage, because we were informed by the admins there was a pause probably about now, and I would guess that there's actually server lag. But again, because first blood did occur, they cannot pause they cannot remake the game. The rules are 5 minutes or first blood. You are allowed until that point, you know, 5 or first. You are allowed to remake. But as well, there has been first blood. on the one hand, Epiphany Bolt probably doesn't want to remake, although if it's really, really bad, I could understand them wanting to.
And it looks absolutely nasty right now.
But at the same time, again, and this is an unfortunate nature of, again, the way EU routing works. You know, if the servers, you know, are where they are, sometimes the router goes an odd direction, and it just doesn't make it. However, PurplePot does in fact DC the meaning for this pause, and is going to get paused again. So I think it's, again, just a slight issue there. Should not be too big of a problem though. I'm going to see if duration on this pause. So really quickly though, that engagement, other than the stutter pausing that we had, or stutter lag. Okay, pauses a minute, so we should be fine. The thing that won them that fight, Epiphany Bolt, other than the fact that VWS went in, which was simply ill-advised, was, again, we saw birds on Aphrodite. Level 1, they do an okay amount of damage, but there's absolutely no displacement from her. There's no way to push them away, there's no way for her to protect herself, and FleuryQ went Feather Step. Okay, it's a root for a very short duration at level 1. That's it, and Zhong has 0 displacement. When you've got Axioz, who's got a heavy hammer, and went into his shield bash level 1, so he can come up to you and slow you, plus there's a heavy hammer, which, oh yeah, by the way, slows you, you're going to have a bad time. And again, the birds slow enough on the damage because they are a damage over time, and so level 1, they're a little bit on the low side. You see Darkyodk and Axioz finish off Ducky in quick, not succession, but very, very quickly, because he pressured himself back in. He did not have the back off to push them away. And it's an unfortunate happenstance of the way that Aphrodite works up against an aggressive combination of jungle and solo.
Yeah, not to mention that, here's the thing that really won that fight for Epiphany Bolt as well. The vision control early on worked wonders in their favor. Darkyodk spotted out the ward by the fire giant that Epiphany Bolt got put on against them. But Epiphany Bolt got one ward down by the speed camp, so they knew exactly where Afro and the Solo lane would be starting here. So they managed to get in the faces of them, wait for the timing here, so they weren't doing speed up, they had to be doing these back camp. Waited for the timing on when the first abilities would come through, and snuck a very, very good sneak around route, as they planned to avoid the ward and play that gank out very, very perfectly.
Indeed, and
they timed everything right, and they made sure that there wouldn't be any displacement, like you said, Target.
Yeah, and it's really well done, and we're going to see FleuryQ being forced to spend some time over with his solo laner, though for now it is just doing his blue buff, so he should be alright. You know, no drastic loss with respect to you know, what he's doing for experience. Though Wlfy is in a bit of trouble here, sitting at level 3. He's a little bit nervous as well about trying to actually come to the side to clear. And actually Zigox is going to kill RedPot over in the duo lane. You're going to see if they can get anything else. It appears PurplePot's just going to sit under tower, so probably not. Though again, it's a Rama Khepri. Freya, I'm not, again, it's been a little while. She used to do fairly well against Ram, but again, she does have a hard time before she gets a couple levels rolling and getting her attack speed up and running as well.
Especially when you throw a Khepri in the mix there, adding damage reduction for his carry. It enables Zigox to trade so much more effectively here. Although Athena can body block and land these taunts and abuse the shield passive quite nicely, there's not a whole lot you can do if you get caught out by a root from JacobHL. If JacobHL tracks you down and abducts you, Zigox will follow with a great slow, a cripple, and you're going to have nowhere to run at this point, as you're just going to be a pincushion for Ram once he fires off that steroid while you're caught by a Khepri here. It's just such a difficult lane matchup to win once you throw Khepri into the mix-up.
Definitely, and it'll be interesting to see sort of where things go. Also, just to note, this just clicked, because we cast Epiphany Bolt in a show match last week. Epiphany Bolt, for those of you who are probably wondering, who's Epiphany Bolt? How did they get in? They're Team Bizarre. They were picked up by Epiphany Bolt. The organization picked them up and is welcomed them in. Monday afternoon was when the announcement was made, and congratulations to them. We've seen several Challengers Cup teams actually get picked up by sponsors during this fall split. VWS Gaming picked up after 2 weeks. They were originally the Moxies. So
then there's Torpedo that picked up Instinct, I believe.
I was gonna bring them up when we brought them on air, but yeah, Torpedo as well. So
covering teams that got picked up.
very, very happy for all of the European Challenger Cup scene. You know, growth in Smite is a wonderful thing, and we are going to see well, a growth in their pockets right now. This is the farming stage, everybody. So this is going to be the slow couple minutes. We've got another pause coming out in about a moment, or excuse me, about a minute. It should be a short one, but again, it looks like there is some serious player lag going on right now.
It's hitting us pretty hard on our end as well at this point, so I wouldn't be surprised if there's going to be at least a decent chunk of pause throughout this game here. We might see all 9 minutes of time, and hopefully these issues sort themselves out before things get too deep.
Yeah, so again, I've noticed in the past it tends to be one game, and I don't know if that's just luck or if that's just the way that it works, where there's about one game a stream where there is some issues. Solo lane, I'm just going to keep an eye on Axioz, because Axioz has so much better clear than Ducky that he can, I mean, we're seeing Ducky lose a significant portion of his health, and because Axioz is doing it after Ducky has used the birds, he doesn't have as much heal because he waits for the first two ticks. Ducky's already at full health, so the birds aren't doing a whole lot, and then he just goes in and smacks her face around for a bit, as that Beach Babe Afro says, rude. And
although the nice thing for Ducky is, though, once he gets a Mystical Mantle, not Mystical, once he gets a Breastplate of Valor online, he's going to be very difficult for Axioz to kill here, as we are seeing a lot of rubber banding going on here, as Axioz did just dip on back towards his minion wave there. It's going to be very difficult to actually kill an Aphrodite, so even if he waits for the wave to go down, he can shove Ducky back, but Ducky, he's going to heal back up unless Axioz can find some way to all in on him right now, and with the way he's going for this, he can't quite lock it down long enough, and there is enough jungle pressure from FleuryQ to keep Ducky safe for the time being.
Yeah, definitely, and again, I think Axioz wants to go even. He's actually behind right now by about a level, though I'm pretty sure that's just that wave, as he should hit 8 off this... Oh, no, actually, Axioz is in fact behind because of this camp difference, so... Pause coming out from Darkyodk, so Epiphany Bolt using a second pause of theirs.
There's still plenty of actual pause time left, though, to be fair.
Again, I'm actually not quite sure how that ruling works. Again, I'm not an admin, so I don't worry about it. We're told 3 pauses, 3 minutes each, and I don't know if that's 3 pauses maximum, and you can use up to 3 minutes per pause, or if it's 9 minutes of pause time, 3 times. I don't know how that works. That's one of those things that I just know that the rule is...
I'm going to ask for clarification between games, though.
Yeah, we'll do that just so we can let you all know, because one of those things... They have one more pause for 3 minutes. All right, thank you, WizKid. You are wonderful. So it is, you have 3 pauses total. Each pause can be 3 minutes. Okay, so, again, good to know for us. So, with that said, again, I guess we'll look at items, because, again, this should be a short pause. Boots getting completed on most people. And I like and dislike Zhong's build here. He started Warlocks. Great, I love the Warlocks rush on Zhong, but then he went into Boots. If you're going to go into Boots, go into Boots.
Honestly,
in my opinion.
I understand what he's going for here, as he wants to avoid the aggression here. AiurZ is sitting a level up on him, and Darkyodk is playing a very aggressive jungle in the form of Thor. He knows he's going to get pressured a lot. He knows the mid lane is one of the main contention points of the game. He's played Smite for quite some time, I believe, and he's playing at a competitive level. You know the basics of the map if you're Wlfy, for sure. So I can definitely understand going for a Warlock Sash, just right off the bat to get that extra chunk of health, and then finishing off your boots for just a nice little spike there, cheaper spike at that, and get you into the fight a lot more quickly, as Epiphany Bolt have shown they want to skirmish early on. And VWS need to have some way to keep themselves alive and even throughout the game, because as long as they can scale up late, they're going to have a lot of power in their punches.
Okay, and I can understand that, and I guess that does make sense. Just personally, when I'm sitting here, yes, Zhong, I guess the biggest thing is because Zhong is so slow that it makes a lot more sense to try and get your movement speed up as quickly as possible. Is that thought of getting that Warlocks up as soon as possible because of how long it takes to stack. It's just such a pain.
That's what the nice thing about Boots as well. It's a very just instant and cheap gratification there.
Yes, instant gratification indeed.
Like cheap energy.
Did I lose you? Oh, no, okay.
No, sorry. Yeah,
we both stopped at the same time to let the other one go, I understand.
Actually, but I think we're good to go now. Sorry. This shouldn't happen again. Alright, I believe it's fixed. Anyways, like I was saying, as long as he's able to just keep himself sustained here, he's going to be just fine and dandy. And even if we can't get that Warlock Sash or 2, we'll get it eventually. right off the bat. He's going to get stacked in time. It's like I said, VWS, they're going to go for the long haul in this game, most likely. So he's got all the time in the world, as long as he's able to just defend himself.
True, and again, his opponent went for a Lost Artifact start, so other than there being a little bit more gold for Agni on the start at 100, Agni actually winning out his lane right now by about 300 gold. Although I think a lot of that's just, again, from the way that they've been clearing camps. He's had opportunities to get into the speed buffs, etc. We are going to see FleuryQ attempt to gank. I say attempt because he's sort of rubber banding a bit. We'll see what happens.
Yeah, JacobHL not going to find the grab that he needs, as it seems. Unfortunately, this gank going to fall a bit sideways here. I believe it has something to do with that rubber banding that was going on here. So, VWS unfortunately not able to find their way on through. And Epiphany Bolt now looks like they want to find some way to contest this here. AiurZ is ready to fight, and Darkyodk does have the Amblodon ready to go. They're grouped up around this gold tree here, but they are caught out by a ward. And VWS, they know what's going on. Thor going up in there. Darkyodk ready to party. PurplePot goes in for the fight. Taunt will not land there. And Darkyodk, he's got nowhere to go down and no targets to catch. What a fight, though, as both engages coming on through. Now VWS will look to maybe find the re-engage here, as the purple buff fight will kick off to a slow but steady start. VWS going to save and secure their own buff right there. So Epiphany Bolt not going to find the engagement they want. VWS doing a great job of disengaging.
Yep, indeed. And we did see Darkyodk get some damage off onto Wlfy. He just said, "All right, you know what? If I have to disengage, you know, not come down on a target for the fight, I might as well land on Zhong and do a little bit of damage and then walk away." And it's exactly what he did. So, but again, Wlfy can heal up quite nicely with his combination of his 1-2 punch, so to speak. So he's perfectly fine there. And yeah, that's really sort of where we're at. You know, again, farming, we're starting to see Ducky outpush Axioz very hard. Axioz has not gone into teleport yet. I disagree with that decision. I understand why he would be going for beads in terms of if he thinks he's going to get ganked, but at the same time, it's an Aphrodite. She's got a back off and a kiss that she can use on you, so there's two technical, well, as a stun and a mild knock-up interaction. It's not actually a knock-up, it's a knock-back. But it's still that interaction of you beads to not take it. You are going to be pushed. You can't beads mid knockback of the specific back off by Aphrodite, because it's just such a short distance of push. And it's so instantaneous. But anyways, as I'm saying, it's tier 1 beads. I would much rather see tier 1 teleport, because you are going to be getting teleport as Bellona. I see no reason not to get it, personally, because it gives you so much rotational power, and you should be trying to beat Aphrodite to the fights, and Aphrodite arguably needs both of those slots for excuse me, for survivability purposes, so you can leverage that to your advantage by getting a teleport early and not losing farm to the clearly superior wave clear that is Aphrodite, as Axioz is currently taking a lot of poke and a bit of a gank. FleuryQ gonna feather step right over. That knockup actually going to save Axioz for a moment. There's the beads and the ultimate as well. Eagles rallying away. I tried to say eagling, I don't think it's a word.
Eagling, not a word here, it seems, unfortunately, but Darkyodk here to back up his laner here. Axioz will survive thanks to the grace of those beads, but at that time the beads were a little bit late there for his survival, so nothing really to be done there. Surrender vote kicks on off. I think this lag is affecting the players quite a bit at this time, and well, the downside for Epiphany Bolt here, if they can't execute this team comp against the team comp that needs to be shut down as fast as you can, they're going to be in for an uphill struggle here. VWS, they've got a lot of ways to just hold out and keep on trucking on in these fights, and a lot of very big AoEs.
Yeah, I think it's really just a frustration thing more than anything else. Like, God, this sucks, man. Like, just get me out. And I'm just like, come on, man. It's not that bad. They're suffering. You know, they're dealing with it too. And quite frankly, I can understand it. If I was behind, I would maybe consider agreeing to that vote. But it's even. Let's look at the graphs. 1,600 gold or experience, excuse me, in favor of VWS. Gold is less than 300. That's less. I mean, it's just insane. We're going to see an ultimate coming out from PurplePot. PurplePot going over to the mid lane as they are engaging upon Zhong. Wlfy out of mana, but does have those protections from his ultimate, and he will be able to get under tower at a quarter health and 0 mana. Yeah,
0 mana, but he is out nonetheless. He can rejoin the fight before it fully breaks out here. too risky to go for a gold trade now. PurplePot now getting caught out. We will see JacobHL trying to push his way forward. Zigox does land the cripple, but it's not going to mean too much as the time stands. Just going to be a free and secured mid-camp fight here.
Good ult.
But they're going for the party here. FleuryQ locks down AiurZ, and AiurZ is going to be the one to fall for Epiphany Bolt here. Now VWS secure a kill and their mid-camps. A happy pickup there for them.
Indeed. Very good ultimate indeed with that, excuse me, that gravity surge. We're going to see Ducky utilizing the Undying Love over in the solo lane, but he may still fall, actually forcing Darkyodk away. Darkyodk out of mana and almost out of his life, and Axioz now in trouble as Wlfy and FleuryQ came over to show their love for their teammate, and Axioz will fall. Last bit of damage going to be from the Aphrodite. Wlfy going to say, well, I'm just going to take this farm since I'm here. FleuryQ going to get a kill there onto PurplePot as well. And it appears that I forgot to turn off the Inuki announcer pack. My apologies. I was trying it out last night because I wanted to see how it sounded. And, well, I forgot. My apologies.
Well, it's always worth it to add a little bit more epic to the games here. Inuki will be one way to supplement this here. But, luckily, VWS getting off to a great start here. 3 kills to kick things off right now following that mid-camp fight. And VWS getting to put themselves in a good position here. Gold lead starting to turn in their favor. Quite nice. Kill lead, exactly where it wants to be. And the XP difference still rising in favor of VWS. About 4.2 thousand here. So, they've got a nice road in their favor here, and it's only going to get easier from here on out if they can keep this trend up. But Epiphany Bolt, we've seen how scrappy they can be. I don't think it's nearly over yet.
Yep, dual lane, we are going to see RedPot. Good banish from him. FleuryQ here as well. We're just going to see the Valkyrie's discretion. He does not want to mess with this. Going to come down out of mana. Rama's in the air. First shot going to hit. FleuryQ going to take a couple tower shots as well. Athena is going to be alright. No damage onto PurplePot just yet. We will be seeing a rotation. Oh, actually, good gravity surge once again. Oh, that lag is real. PurplePot will disengage semi-successfully. And at this point, we are seeing as we said, drastic lead starting to trend in favor of VWS. 5,000 experience, 2.3k gold. As, wow, the lag is pretty significant. I can understand players' frustration now. As we are hitting the 13-minute mark in this matchup. And Epiphany Bolt's had a hard time this game. You know, RedPot, especially 0-2-0 on Freya. Freya needs to get her levels and her items, and she's stuck just completing boots. Not a bad place when you compare it to the Rom, but at the same time, she's still down 2 levels. And Rom's about to go back and spend more gold. Over in the solo lane, Axioz losing to Ducky handily. Ducky really not minding the fact that he's had to spend so much mana because, well, he can clear... Oh, actually, he's in trouble here. PurplePot going to blink in. Oh, good Thor dunk as well. Ducky's probably going to fall here because he's out of mana.
Good game for Ducky. No mana there. Darkyodk picks up a return, kills Epiphany Bolt. And that's going to put themselves back on the board with a 4,000 gold differential. 3,000 right now separates them from a dead even prospect now. But they will need to find that way forward. Gold Fury was taken by VWS in the meantime, so that is one of the reasons why their gold lead is so massive at this point in the game. But surprisingly, we are 15 minutes in right now, and we're going to see the game calm down once again. 5-2 is the kill score. Epiphany Bolt down by about 3,000. Game is starting to swing upwards.
Indeed, in that last engagement, it took 3 players to kill Aphrodite. 4 were involved, but it really took 3 of them to actually get the kill off. We saw just...
Especially considering the fact that Goldra is already dead.
Oh, I'm definitely not saying that it's... But I'm saying... It took 4 people from Epiphany Bolt to kill 1 person. Sure, it's Aphrodite, sure, she's got plenty of sustain, but she was out of mana. It shouldn't take 3 people to kill the solo laner at 15 minutes into the game. Sure, she's tanky, she's got a Lotus Crown, she's got a Breastplate of Valor, but I think that just simply is speaking to where Epiphany Bolt is at in the game right now. They're having a hard time, and we're gonna see a blank in from JacobHL onto RedPot. Good taunt, excuse me, from PurplePot is going to give up his life to save RedPot, but PurplePot still does fall once again.
PurplePot going to continue to be aggressed on by VWS. VWS, they don't want to stop here. They're looking for more as Darkyodk will attempt to ward, but FleuryQ in position to just get in his face. Now, same time, solo lane fight once again breaking out, but not going to end up anywhere at all, as Darkyodk now might have locked down Wlfy, but Wlfy just isn't dying. A great pull in, but the beads are immediate from Darkyodk. Will save his life for the time being, but maybe not his towers. As VWS, they're grouped up for a siege. They've got the heals going on, and now Wlfy going to begin his onslaught here. Luckily, a bit of reinforcement coming through from Axioz, able to just dissuade the push on, but VWS, they smell different blood in the water, and they want to steal the jungle of Epiphany Bolt right now and not give them even a single inch.
Yeah, all four members here, to me, says that they are looking for a fight more than the buff. Sure, the buff's nice, but if they could have found Axioz timing just so that they do not quite catch him. And, actually, at this point, it almost looks like Axioz wants to try and catch them off. Oh, no, somebody dropping a ward. Double tap. Oh, actually, no, just the forward swing, missing the back swing onto Wlfy. But with that Mjolnir's attunement. But as I was saying, it looked like with all four of them there, it looks like they're going this sort of ball of death where the Rama is farming in duo, and then the rest of them are trying to take this tower in the mid lane, so they've now taken 2 of the tier 1s, and they were saying, okay, if we can't get the tier 1 just yet, we're going to try and get a kill, and then rotate into the tier 1, as now we are going to see the jungle and solo go back over to take the farm of Axioz, and quite possibly Axioz's life once again.
Axioz may not be where he wants to be here. Is FleuryQ able to engage if he wants? Darkyodk going to be targeted, but FleuryQ can't quite find his way through. Axioz tries to stop this, but the damage, it's not even going to be coming through.
Oh, good. Gravity surge.
Effort, but the gravity surge is great here. Darkyodk has got no way out except for a quick teleport away. But Wlfy still had the card ticking on. A quick grenade detonation will secure that one. As you see another bit of rubber banding occur right there. VWS now looking to press their lead elsewhere. They've got the 2-1-2 split push going on right now. And it's so insanely hard for Freya to duel with Zigox right now. It may be exactly all they need to just keep pressing this game further and further in their favor. The soul lanes, with the fight taking place here, a good disengage from VWS is unfortunate right now. Epiphany Bolt, they just cannot secure the damage. The healing has reached its critical mass almost, and it's going to be such a tough onslaught for them to face here, as they just don't quite have the damage now.
Something that I just realized, we're coming up on the 18th minute, is we have not seen a Khepri ultimate yet.
There hasn't really been a situation for VWS at this point.
That's just it.
The fighting didn't quite take place, and that kind of that is mostly due to the fact that it is a very laggy game, so it's not something that you're going to want to fight on a lot. Of VWS were able to stay strong through their weak early game. Khepri's ultimate hasn't been needed. Like I said, the healing is just too massive right now.
And VWS able to, oh hi, we found you, you're dead. Moving on. It's that simple. You know, it's not like it's where we have had any sort of real team fight. Epiphany Bolt has taken the poke and then disengaged because, again, either the lag or the levels at this point, everybody across the board is 1 to 2 levels down. RedPot going to go into Valkyrie's discretion and is running away. Is going to land down here, going to Beads. I guess he was trying to deny himself to tower, but he will fall. FleuryQ going to get the rampage there. Surrender vote coming out. Maybe he actually lagged out there. Also something that would not be surprising. And at this point, if I was Epiphany Bolt, I would say, look guys, the lag really hurt us. Probably some expletives in there. FleuryQ going to kill Axioz, as we do see Darkyodk and PurplePot taking the first tower for their team. However, they may pay with their lives, as, we are going to see Darkyodk being able to go up into the air, but PurplePot, no such luck, as he is going to lag out a bit. It does finally manage to get the ultimate off, though, and gets away? Maybe?
Yeah, we're going to hit stasis mode as well, so I think at this point the lag is definitely bleeding over to us as well. We're going to take a short break, but I think at this point the game is likely over. We're going to see what happens, but a quick PR back screen. We'll be right back with hopefully some action and hopefully some fixed lag.
I say either we will be back with either that, or we'll be back with the next game, hopefully, again, with fixed lag. Do stay tuned. This is going to be week number 6 of Challengers Cup Fall Split, week number 1 of the round robin stage. We will be right back.